after the...
So look, leave me banned, ladies and gentlemen. Leave me banned. I'm fine where I'm at now. I'm fine where I'm at. Don't unban me because no one's there to get. When's Jay's coming to Summer Jam?
I'm sorry?
When's Jay-Z coming to Summer Jam?
Jay-Z coming back?
It's been a long time.
When's Jay-Z coming back anywhere? We waiting for him to come a lot of places. I want him to come on the show.
No brunch, no lunch, no dinner.
No brunch, no lunch, no dinner.
It's hot out here, man.
It's hot out here.
You gonna see him nowhere.
Real question. How do you think?
He said it's hot out here. You ain't gonna see Jay-Z nowhere. 50 funny, man. Let's hear what else he got to say about Diddy and all this whole situation.
Hollywood thinks about 50 Cent.
I don't care. I don't care.
How did I not know? How did I know that was? I could have written that answer for you.
You're right.
I think they're really surprised at the momentum. Right? You know, like, because with one project, it is able to grow into multiple projects. And if it was up to me, it would have been a lot more.
As stars, you mean?
Yeah. But they wanted it to be a little different. Sometimes they don't like who they're becoming. And they kind of fight that, so they spend money with you.
Well, they didn't want to. I'm going to tell you right now.
You were becoming the face because your stuff was becoming stars.
1,000%. Yes. And they were like, we have to diversify our portfolio because this is basically the 50 Cent channel.
Right.
And they even struggled in other areas. Like, they was trying to create another version of what's going on there, like by, like Joe Show, the talk show. That is I would have did that too, like in a different way, because it's obviously growing, right? But that was a Puffy production. So it was brought to, like, the guys at Star, the CEO of Stars is Jeff Hirsch right now. Our relationship can't work because Puff uses him as a worker bee.
Views Jeff Hirsch as that?
He helped with the Revolt deal. He put the Revolt deal.
Jay-Z's journey in the music industry demonstrates one clear truth. Real power is not measured by noise but by calculated planning. This clip explores the persona Jay-Z has carefully built over decades, a figure who rarely acts impulsively and treats every career move as a strategic decision. Branding experts explain that Jay-Z has transformed his name into a corporate identity, where every public appearance, partnership, and album release contributes to the longevity of his empire. The famous quote, "I'm not a businessman, I'm the business, man," is more than a catchy phrase. It is a philosophy, a way of approaching the music industry like a CEO approaches a corporation. This clip emphasizes how his quiet demeanor has allowed him to execute long-term strategies that maintain dominance over the music and business landscape.
See this, right? Let's be clear. When you see this, 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 when you see the checkerboards on the floor, when you see the skull and bones, when you see the signs and symbolism, when you slow down the music, Jay-Z new video with Nas and DJ Khaled, it's a scene where it's checkerboards. These are all occult, Satanist, symbolic symbols. So what I'm saying is, and I'm gonna tell you why and me personally, I've been in music for a minute, had deals and all that, bro. I don't give a fuck about this shit. But what I know, for me, I study so I know when I see it, so I know what to avoid. Because niggas could be trying to sacrifice your ass and you're not studying. God told us to read and be knowledgeable. So when I see Jay-Z go, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? You're not no gang member. You got checkerboard floors in your shit. You got skull and bones. What does this mean?
This segment dives into the late 1990s and early 2000s, when DMX and Jay-Z operated as two dominant forces in the rap world. Industry insiders describe the intense creative competition of the era, where labels sometimes encouraged rivalries to elevate commercial performance. DMX, in interviews, openly acknowledges the competitive energy he felt from Jay-Z, describing it as both motivating and intimidating. This clip explores how these rivalries were not personal attacks but a natural part of hip-hop culture, where competition drives innovation, lyrical dexterity, and stage performance. By analyzing backstage moments and tour anecdotes, the documentary illustrates how their rivalry became a defining feature of the era, fueling both artists' growth and shaping the competitive dynamics of rap.
To Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce, right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like, they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them
Star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
For Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last.
This clip examines 50 Cent's dramatic entrance into the industry, a disruption that instantly changed the landscape of hip-hop. With the release of his 1999 track How to Rob, 50 Cent challenged established artists by naming them in his lyrics, including Jay-Z. Hip-hop historians note that this audacious approach propelled 50 Cent into the spotlight, signaling the arrival of a fearless new competitor. Jay-Z's live response at Summer Jam, "I'm about $1, who the F*** is 50 Cent," officially ignited the rivalry. The documentary analyzes how this exchange fueled 50 Cent's drive, motivated his studio work, and created a cultural moment that would influence the trajectory of both artists' careers. This segment focuses entirely on public, verified career interactions, avoiding speculation or personal rumors.
Them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block.
Another documentary in the arsenal, because I ain't gonna lie, Diddy has finally met his motherfucking match. I love to see it. So 50 Cent had posted that Diddy sent him flowers from jail to his club appearance in Miami. And he's alleging that it's like supposed to be a threat, because y'all know that when he released that documentary not too long ago, Diddy did try to send him a cease and desist. Flopped. Not happening. So he's taking these flowers as, like funeral flowers. Like, y'all know when they get into the streets, certain shit means certain shit. So they get it. Even if we don't get it, they get it. So if he's saying that these are supposed to be like a message, then they supposed to be a message. But 50 Cent responded with, "What kind of is this? Diddy send you flowers at Club 11? LOL. Why all the foreplay get busy? You know I'm stupid." Yeah, like real stupid. If you know 50 Cent, anybody that know 50 Cent, hey, wrap it up. Wrap it up. You did what you did. He exposed what you did. He exposed more of what you did. Wrap it up. Then he also said, "A warning, I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me, LOL." If you don't know what he mean by I'm 90s grimy, go do.
Summer Jam has long been one of hip-hop's most high-profile performance arenas, and this clip details the historic moment when 50 Cent and Jay-Z faced each other publicly. Journalists and fans who witnessed the performance describe the palpable tension in the arena, where lyrical competition meets live audience pressure. Jay-Z's response became an iconic cultural moment, cementing his reputation as a masterful strategist on stage, while 50 Cent's excitement over the acknowledgement indicated the start of a long-term competitive dynamic. This segment emphasizes how public rivalries in hip-hop are both performative and strategic, shaping public perception and influencing the career decisions of artists involved.
Overnight, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs trying to stop the release of a Netflix docuseries due out today. The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year. It also includes video of Combs greeting fans in Harlem.
I'll accept it.
And then saying this about the interaction moments later.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
Now Combs' lawyers are demanding Netflix pull the series, threatening legal action, claiming Netflix is using stolen footage that was never authorized for release as part of what they call a shameful hit piece. The series is executive produced by Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alex Stapleton, who said, quote, "We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights," end quote. Before the cease and desist demand was sent yesterday, Stapleton and Jackson sat down with our Robin Roberts to discuss the series.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
It's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part.
This clip delves into the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the Rock the MIC tour, a period when Jay-Z and 50 Cent briefly aligned under the same tour umbrella. Industry insiders recall that the potential partnership had the makings of a commercial powerhouse, yet unforeseen label decisions, scheduling conflicts, and strategic disagreements ultimately prevented the full collaboration. The segment highlights how business priorities, rather than personal disputes, influence high-profile artist collaborations. 50 Cent's decision not to join the full tour and Jay-Z's concurrent retirement announcement illustrate how professional decisions in hip-hop often intersect with larger business strategies, shaping the public narrative of rivalries and alliances.
And, quote, to think that this guy, who is as gentle as can be, has anything to do with this is crazy, end quote. And I don't know what's going on with Lance, but he actually came out and stated that Jay-Z, in fact, did not stab him. Lance recalls that night and claims that he was surrounded by 10 knives, a bunch of guys with all these knives in the club. The reporter asked him, was Jay-Z the one who stabbed you? He laughs before responding, no, Jay-Z was not the guy that actually stabbed me that night. The executive clarifies that they did have a conversation right before getting hit in the head with a champagne bottle, so it probably was one of Jay-Z's people.
Was Jay-Z the one that actually stabbed you?
No. Jay-Z was not the guy who actually stabbed me that night.
But Jay-Z was there when you got stabbed. Was actually in front of you when you got stabbed.
It was like, yeah, me and Jay-Z had a conversation while, right before I got hit in the head with a champagne bottle. And it was a brief conversation, and I was looking at him like, what are you talking about? And you the money up right now.
So Lance is claiming that Jay-Z was, in fact, not the guy that stabbed him. But part of me believes that maybe if Jay-Z stabbed him, like, wouldn't you listen to anything that he says if you survive? I feel like if he got stabbed by this guy and he threatens him that he'll make it a lot worse if he blames Jay-Z, then he probably will go with the story that, Jay-Z didn't do it. But I kind of believe that he did, especially because there was a witness who claims that when Lance was on the ground, he kept repeating that Jay-Z had stabbed him.
Jay-Z was later put on 3 years of probation. 9 people ended up losing their lives.
And you blame Diddy for that?
Yeah, I do. It's his fault. But it's Jessica's fault for shutting the door. Because had she not shut the door, people would have just walked in the gym. And you'd had a gym full of people. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody would have probably died. It's her fault and it's his fault.
So you really think it's Diddy's fault? Why you believe that?
Because you don't cut security to save $1. You don't cut security when security is the most important thing that you gotta have at these places. And that's what he did. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. And I even told him, I said, yo, if the FOIs don't get a barricade away from this door, people gonna die tonight. I told that to him. And what happened? 9 people died that night.
What was his reaction to the 9 people died?
I didn't talk to him for a while. He used to come around with us with the same gang, and he just say, yo, he just speak to Gene. He like, yo, what up, Gene? I'll be like, yo, what up? I didn't speak to him until after that Suge Knight stuff that they had with Jake in Atlanta. That's when I started back really speaking to him.
Wow, because you felt the type of way about what he did?
Nah, come on, bro. 9 kids died, bro. I was pumping the chest of one little boy when my man was crying, talking about, yo, this is my first time him being out. This is the first time him being out, bro. My mama gonna kill me. I'm pumping on the chest of a little 17-year-old.
This clip explores how power dynamics within the music industry influence awards such as the Grammys. 50 Cent has publicly discussed how industry relationships and influence often affect award outcomes. Here, industry analysts explain that artists like Jay-Z carry weight due to their commercial success, longevity, and cultural impact. The documentary examines how awards are not purely merit-based but also reflect networking, brand power, and influence over voting panels. By focusing on verified industry trends, This segment illustrates the broader ecosystem of recognition and how legacy acts leverage their influence to maintain visibility in an increasingly competitive space.
Oh my goodness. Itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight. Because in one of the dude's testimony, he's saying that Diddy had a gun for 50 or something, like that he didn't like 50.
Nah, what it was is 50 Cent in his worst times in this era wrote songs for J-Lo and Diddy. Well, he wrote songs for J-Lo for Diddy. That's number one. And he wanted to sign 50, but 50 just wasn't rocking with Diddy, number one. Number two, Diddy Get Back was 50 baby mama on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Being petty. So 50 and Diddy's situation is a little more steeper and different than what people think it is, you dig? I just think in my mind, 50 is a street dude. Diddy is not a street dude, but he want to be a street dude. So he got the money to be a gorgeous gangster, AKA do street shit. But what it come down to is 50 didn't want to rock with Diddy, even though 50 wrote songs over there at Bad Boy. And then when 50 started popping, Diddy was just envious of 50 really blowing up. That's all I see. And
him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds. And I shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room. And he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw it.
Like he said, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
What does that say to the cameraman that, can anybody be bought or, he said, the cameraman said he recorded all this for Diddy and then of course Diddy got locked up. So.
Yeah, Diddy got locked up and he didn't get paid. A lot of people seem to have that experience.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Dealing with Combs.
This clip investigates Jay-Z's use of hand signs, visual branding, and the Roc Nation diamond symbol as tools for global recognition. Marketing experts explain that visual cues and symbolic gestures are a key part of brand strategy, helping artists create memorable identities that resonate worldwide. The segment highlights the cultural significance of iconic gestures, explaining how fans adopt, replicate, and celebrate these symbols across merchandise and media. The focus is on marketing, identity, and cultural influence, clearly grounded in verified practices without speculation or conspiratorial claim.
We need comms. He's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what? What were you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential. We know how the potential jury. What did I say to you guys? Who can these people run to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. Look at Aubrey O'Day. The boss's boss don't care. You could go to the police, all bought and paid for, and even if you get a special prosecutor like Damian Williams, they can just be reassigned to another case. And then Maureen Comey comes in. We can't even begin to talk about that jury. We can't even begin. Not yet. We got so much more to discuss, don't we?
We got so much more to discuss. And as we delve deeper, first and foremost,
happened. I want you to think about that. Look at what happened from that. See, and this is why this documentary is I'm not calling it a documentary. I'm calling it a mockumentary. That's what I call it.
No, not Spinal Tap.
I call it a mockumentary. I feel like this whole thing is mocking.
This clip highlights Jay-Z and Beyoncé's combined influence as one of the most powerful duos in music and business. Analysts break down their tours, Tidal streaming service, Ivy Park, Rock Nation Sports, and philanthropic initiatives. The documentary emphasizes the couple's ability to build a multi-billion-dollar empire while maintaining relevance across music, fashion, and business sectors. By focusing exclusively on public ventures and verified accomplishments, this clip presents a factual, professional analysis of how strategic partnerships in entertainment can create global impact.
Don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I reported.
We were scheduled to do the outside of the college, outside of the gym, because that's what my team was good at. You understand? I had 18 guys prepared to be outside to make sure that we could get the crowd in order. You understand? Before there was any crowd. You got to set the things up before you even get the crowd like that, especially in those type of things. And back then in the days, we used to have dogs and everything. I would have a guy with 2 dogs walking the street, making sure people go down the lane, and don't bum rush the doors. People ain't bum rushing the doors when you got dogs out there. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy that we have to do parties like that, but that was one of our security things that we did. So now, Puff called me and said, yo, Gene, we only need 8 guys. I said, 8 guys? Ain't no way you're gonna do the Shooter College with 8 guys. He said, no, Heavy D, because him and Heavy D was doing a party together. He was like, yo, Heavy D want the FOIs to do the outside. I said, the FOIs? He said, yeah. So I said, yo, fuck it, I ain't gonna do it. And then my man, who's my partner, Slick, said, yo, man, we're gonna go ahead and do it, man. And we just gonna get a couple of bottles, just gonna chill, and we just go outside. We do the downstairs. So Puff told me that, he just wanted us to do inside the gym to make sure that nobody, be over the celebrities like that. That's what he wanted my team to do. But most of the celebrities gonna have their own security anyway. You know what I'm saying? That was just a way to cut our security off anyway. So he cut the security and he got the FOIs, and the FOIs left their post, and that's how the people bum rushed the door, and 9 people died by going down those.
This segment chronicles Jay-Z's journey from Brooklyn's Marcy projects to global business magnate. It highlights his own publicly shared reflections on growing up in a challenging environment, overcoming adversity, and learning from mistakes. Interviews with Jay-Z, music historians, and biographers emphasize the lessons he applied from youth to build a successful music career and business empire. The clip focuses on personal development, resilience, and entrepreneurship, illustrating how public, verified experiences shaped one of hip-hop's most influential figures.
Is gay? Yeah. What you want me to? Elaborate?
Can you elaborate on it? If you can.
I just left the Bad Boy Making the Band situation. I signed over there with Bad Boy South. Kim, of course. Kim, rest in peace to Kim, which is Quincy's mama and Christian's mama. And the twins' mama. But Kim was rooting for me. Kim and Half Pia, they really liked me a lot. I signed the Bad Boy South just before the Jesus, Boys in the Hood, and Jeezy et al, and the Jocks and all this. Well, I signed the Bad Boy South for whatever I signed for, which is a substantial amount of money. I kept trying to get the budget for the Lil Daddy single that Ryan Leslie produced for me. It took me 5 to 6 months to try to get it. When Diddy finally opened the budget up for me, I was in New York. And then I'm just minding my business, enjoying myself. And, we feel like we got a hit, with Chop. And everybody's excited. Half PR, the Kims and all that. They all excited about it. But one time I'm at Daddy's house and Half PR called me. And he was like, get Puff for me. A lot of people called him Diddy, but Half PR called him Puff. I love Half PR because he's Haitian, I'm Haitian. So it was a Haitian thing. It was always love for us. I still got love for Half. Half PR was like, put Diddy on the phone. I got to holler at him about something. Okay. So I go into the A room. So I'm like, Paulie was there. It's big security. It's one of his main securities, actually. And I'm like, Paulie, say, bro, Diddy, Half want to talk to Puff. And Paulie was like, I can't do that until Puff green like that. So I put Half on the phone on speaker and Paulie looked the other way. When Paulie looked the other way, I walked into the room, opened the door, and I seen Diddy and a white man, very powerful white man, groping, grabbing each other's crotch, kissing on each other.